on Good Day Wisconsin, we want you to have the best Thanksgiving ever. We're going to have recipes and ideas. We're going to decorate. We're going to have so much fun. And we're going to start today by showing you how to have the best Thanksgiving ever without spending a lot of money. And our Thrifty Crafter, Kim Geiser, is back with some great decorating ideas.
I am.
You just went into the backyard and
I
started clipping.
I luckily have a grapevine in my backyard, so I could make my own grapevine wreath even, and how exciting is that?
For those of us who don't have it, what do we do?
Go to your neighbors and steal some. I'm just kidding. Or find someone who has, you know, everybody has branches.
Okay, but if you want the base, you can actually use maybe last year's wreath that you had up.
Totally use
or
last year's
go to the
wreath.
thrift store and buy a little grapevine wreath.
For the finished one that I have, it is one of those metal hoops. You can kind of see it, I think, through here, but it's just a metal wreath frame.
That you found at the thrift store?
Yeah, for like 50 cents.
Okay, great. So you need to start with a base, then you go and cut the branches.
And you do need a thicker base. You can't just use a single, you know, just a wire.
It won't work.
Because you need to keep these. But I started it already with just a bunch of branches.
Okay.
And then you just get some floral wire and start it off by twisting the wire. I sometimes use a pliers even for that, just because the strength of your hand isn't often enough. And you just start really by pulling branches together.
Okay, about how many?
Just a handful. It depends, and it really does depend on the size of your wreath.
And then you just keep going around and around
and around and around.
Okay. So you just take this and you start wrapping. Oh, look what I did.
Oh, that's all right.
The whole thing.
That's all right. They do sometimes have wire on a paddle, and that seems to be a little easier to me.
Okay.
I couldn't find
All right.
mine.
So you can pick up this wire at a craft store, hardware store, or maybe you have some at home.
You know, and you can do this with branches. This is the same technique to make your wreaths for Christmas with the pine.
Oh,
it's the same thing.
And pussy willow in the spring.
Yeah, anything. Yeah.
Great. Now you know how to do that.
Yes.
And this is what you get.
This is what you. Mine's massive.
Yes.
I actually took it off my house. I've had it on there since spring. So I just really decorate it up for the different seasons.
Okay.
I have a lot of animals in my yard, so I like to just use the stuff that's available, you know, the different plants and stuff that are available. Yeah. But this, you know, you can just put bows on there if you want to pretty it up a little. This was just some ribbon I had.
Okay.
I like to layer bows, so you can put a couple of different ones. You know, a lot of times too, with the way that these branches are, you can kind of just stick stuff in. You really don't need to even glue it in or anything.
And I like the idea of pine cones, and these are some dried hydrangeas?
Yep, some dried hydrangeas that I had in the yard.
What are these?
Those are some paper leaves that I had gotten from the dollar store.
Oh, okay.
And I used them for the Halloween party that we had.
And
so I just saved it all. You know, and I would even, if I were doing this at home, I would take my little gourds that I had left over from my Halloween and stick those on the wreath too.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
And then what will you do with this wreath at Christmas time?
I am going to take all this stuff out and I'm going to Christmasize it. Yeah. I mean, I probably, even at Christmas time, will stick pine in around the whole
thing. Pine and pine cones, and it'll be perfect with a little red bow or something.
Yep.
Sparkle it up.
Yep.
Thank you, Kim. She's going to be back with us again next hour. We'll show you the finished wreath, and we'll also show you how she sets the table for nothing.
Yes,
really?
Basically nothing. Yes.
And you know what else we're doing on Good Day Wisconsin?
What?
We're giving away turkeys. Woohoo! See, you could have